Welcome to the Industrial Makerspace. This space is a little bit more industrially oriented compared to the rapid prototyping space. In this space you'll find more equipment like water jets, CNC lathes, manual mills, abrasive saws, anything that can deal with much harder materials like metals or composites. Due to the nature of this type of space, our PPE rules are much more strict, and if you're found to break any of these rules at any time, you can quickly lose access to the space. Starting off, the PPE, or personal protective equipment, rules have changed. Unlike the rapid prototyping space, you absolutely must be wearing long pants, closed-toed shoes, and safety-ready goggles before entering the space. In case of a fire-related emergency, there are 4 fire extinguishers located inside the Makerspace. There's one here by the water jet, another over here by the FSL laser, another by the rear entrance of the room, and the last one by the bandsaw. If you do not know how to operate a fire extinguisher properly, there is a training video actually located in the bottom of this training module. While inside of the industrial makerspace, unless you're operating any of the equipment, you actually must be staying inside of the safety corridor. The safety corridor is marked with the black and yellow lines on the floor. If you're inside the safety corridor, this does not mean you're allowed to take off your PPE. If the emergency is electrical, naming someone's being shocked or there's a spark going off, there's actually an emergency kill switch located inside the center rear of the room. All you have to do is lift the lid and press the emergency stop. Keep in mind, if you press the emergency stop at the wrong time, a lot of the computer-controlled equipment is actually at risk of failure. Optional PPE actually include earplugs that we supply in the room. There's one inside the industrial makerspace and another in the wood shop. All you have to do is rotate the yellow thing here until it falls out. Simply roll up the earplug in your fingers like this, lift your ear with your opposite hand, and insert into your ear, letting it to expand and cause a good nice seal. Keep in mind, earplugs and earphones are absolutely not replacements for earplugs and are actually not allowed in this space as they can cause a distraction from you operating equipment or someone else trying to get your attention. Next to the tool room in the rear of the makerspace, we have these 3 recycling bins, one for wood, aluminum, and steel only. If you're working on a project and you have leftover stock, please recycle them in the appropriate bins. If you're working on a project and you don't have any stock, you're welcome to look for these bins and try to reuse any of the extra material. Right next to this is the emergency exit. If you need to borrow anything, hammers, drills, drill bits, parts for the CNC tools, vices, anything, you can actually come to the tool room here located in the back of the makerspace where you can talk to a makerspace technician and check out anything you need. Behind this red curtain is our weld bay, where we have 2 stations for several machines, MIGs, TIGs, and sticks. Due to the nature of the process, which is hot metal and very bright arcs, you actually have to wear elevated PPE requirements. So that means you need to wear a welding mask, welding gloves, and welding shirt, which you can check out from our tool room. Remember, do not walk through that red curtain without wearing the proper PPE, as you can burn your retinas by staring at the arc incorrectly. 2 things to keep in mind when entering the weld bay. 1, be careful when you walk through. You might actually run into somebody right behind the curtain. And 2, even though these curtains are here to protect your eyes, you still should not look directly at the arc, even through these red curtains. Something that's actually covered in the Tormach training is that these yellow curtains are here to protect your eyes from the arc of the plasma cutter, but doesn't necessarily mean it's 100% safe. So just like our weld bay, you should not look directly at the arc. If you're operating this machine, be sure to close these curtains before running the machine, because there are other people in this room. If somebody's operating a piece of equipment like this lathe here, you should not stand too close, as you can easily become a distraction as they're trying to move and operate the equipment and be in very close proximity to rotating equipment. That's why we have a 5-foot minimum rule here. If you want to watch, that's totally welcome, but stand at least 5 feet back from the operator or the equipment itself. Welcome to the general metalworking equipment area in the industrial makerspace. Here we have a bunch of different types of saws, grinders, and belt sanders. In this space, you're only allowed to use metal. Do not use any woods, carbon fibers, plastics, anything like that. Make sure that this space is always clean, which is the biggest point of this area, is that this is going to be one of the most commonly used areas in the industrial makerspace. Even though the CNC equipment here actually has large safety doors, you should still not remove your PPE at any times. Just because these doors are here doesn't mean you can't get hurt. Remember, this place is inherently dangerous, so you absolutely should be wearing your PPE at all times. If you want to use any of the equipment here, just take the training on tracks. If you have any questions, just speak to a Makerspace technician. Thanks for watching the Industrial Makerspace Safety Overview video, and stay safe.